Hey guys, it's John. Recently, I had the opportunity to check out a couple chapters of an early build of the upcoming Dead Space Remake, which doesn't come out until January. So big thanks to EA for sponsoring this video, and let me show you some gameplay. Some other content creators and I were flown out to EA to check out the game, and we were even allowed to capture it. So I have a full chapter of an early build of the game to show you. It's Chapter 3, Course Correction. Now, the format of this video is going to be a little different than usual. I'm going to be showing you the gameplay and my reaction in the upper left, but instead of my usual live commentary, I'm going to be doing a voiceover. So think of this as the DVD commentary edition, if you will. I'll be popping in to give extra insight on the game because we did get a chance to do a Q&A with the developers at the site. So yeah, hope you enjoy. All right, here we are in the Dead Space Remake. This is the beginning of Chapter 3. As you can see, I have two guns, the classic plasma cutter and the pulse rifle. And I'm just gonna go over to the store and redeem some schematics. So this is actually probably a good time to catch you up if you're not familiar with the Dead Space games. If you haven't ever played the original, that's totally fine. You can enjoy the remake just on its own merit. But if you're not familiar, I can catch you up with the story. In Dead Space, you play as Isaac Clarke, who you can see here on the left. He's an engineer who is stranded on the USG Ishimura, that's the ship that we're on after a routine maintenance mission. So once you get on the ship, you find out that, well, the entire crew has been infected and killed by scary alien monsters called the Necromorphs. And one of the things that Dead Space does that's different than a lot of other horror games is it makes you fight the Necromorphs by dismembering them. Whereas a lot of other games might make you get headshots or take down the monsters that way. Dead Space is different in that it makes you actually aim for the limbs. So if you see throughout the gameplay me target the Necromorph's limbs, that's why. Here I'm on the tram system. Now you may notice, if you've played the original game, the tram system is actually in the game. You physically travel to the next location. Now in the original, you just have a loading screen on the trams. But in the remake, you physically move to the next station. And they were actually very deliberate when they made this game in making it to where it's all physically consistent. And by that I mean, you can run from one end of the ship to the next. Everything is connected, so everything is traversable physically without any cuts, which is really cool. So like, this is not just a remake, it's like they basically like rebuilt the entire game from the ground up, including the USG Ishimura ship. Oh, there's a guy getting got in the background there. That's Chen, actually. He was one of our friends from the beginning. Yeah, that was actually a little hologram or whatever. But yeah, that was one of the cool things I found out about the game when I did the Q&A with the developers. They talked about how, you know, the structure of the ship it's completely physical and. Oh, Hammond's talking, sorry.
Says there's a broken cargo lift just beyond the hangar doors. I'll open them now.
Entering zero gravity.
So this is my first time checking out zero gravity in the game, and as you can see...
You'll need your thrusters to reach it, but that lift shaft should take you straight down to engineering.
Nice. Thanks, Hammond. Anyway, as you can see, the zero gravity is much improved over the original game. It's full 360-degree motion, kind of like Dead Space 2. I found it to be very smooth and no complaints, honestly. You can move fast like I'm doing now. Entering the vacuum, so one other thing you can do in Dead Space, just like in the original game, is you can go out into space And you need oxygen after a while. That's what that number counting down is. Need oxygen. There's one of the enemies. I'm attacking with the pulse rifle. The first one I blew up with the secondary pulse rifle grenade. I'm not sure what I'm doing there, actually. I wish I could tell you. I guess I was trying to hit it melee style. I don't know. I only got 20 seconds of oxygen left, so thankfully there's a full tank right there. You know me, I'm constantly checking to make sure I'm going the right direction. There's a loot box there. Picked up some, I think, med kits? I don't know. Now you can also use kinesis to bring things towards you, which is what I just did. But yeah, Isaac is just he's just an everyday engineer, and he's here fighting these horrible monsters with any weapon that he can get his hands on, which a lot of them are just engineering weapons, like the plasma cutter, which is his basic weapon. Okay, here we go. Our first necromorph in the video. I don't do a great job there of taking care of it. But I get the job done eventually. You can stomp for loot, of course. A staple of Dead Space, stomping for loot. Getting some plasma energy there for my plasma cutter. Now, as you can see, I have a ton of pulse rifle ammo, and that's why I'm trying to primarily use the pulse rifle in these scenes, is to use up the ammo. Now, it's worth noting, too, that actually the ship isn't just rebuilt from the ground up to be physically consistent, like I said before, but there's also new rooms and new routes, new places on the ship as well, to kind of make it exactly, you know, like they wanted it to be.
Seeing you in the control room. Any news on the engines?
Yeah, but it makes no sense. They're out of fuel. The centrifuge is offline. We're tethered to a 4 trillion ton payload. Without the engines, it's dragging us down to the planet.
Can you handle it alone?
Sure. Fix the centrifuge, get the fuel running, then do a full restart. But you'll need to stabilize our orbit from there.
Standing by. Fast as you can, Isaac.
Now, if you've played the original Dead Space, you probably noticed something very significant just then, and that's that Isaac talks. In the original Dead Space, he's a silent protagonist, but in this one he's been given a voice, and not just any voice, it's actually the same voice actor from Dead Space 2 and 3. His name is Gunnar Wright, that's the name. So I was wondering why they gave him a voice. I mean, it makes sense. I don't dislike it. I actually like the change. Talked to the developers in the Q&A afterwards, and they said that it was an attempt to give him more agency as a character, you know, more, giving him more background. Like, he's an engineer, but in the original game, when he's just kind of quiet, he doesn't really talk about engineering at all. And giving him a voice allows him to, you know, it allows them to flesh out his character a bit more. You know, who is Isaac? If you get to the end of the original Dead Space and you're wondering who is Isaac, right? It might be a tough question to answer because he doesn't talk the whole time. But in this one, they're fleshing out his character a bit more, and it makes sense because he talks in Dead Space 2 and 3, right? So there's really no reason to have him be silent anymore. So I like the change overall.
reserves depleted. Main engines offline.
And he's not a little chatterbox. He only speaks at appropriate times. He's not sitting there making constant comments during the gameplay. He mostly just grunts unless he's in a cutscene. Here I am slowly figuring out I need to kinesis this thing over. I wish I could tell you the things I'm mouthing to myself. But I've already forgotten. It hasn't even been that long. Now the Dead Space remake has another pretty significant change. They've integrated a new, what they're calling the intensity director, which dynamically adjusts what happens in the game in terms of what monsters spawn, where they spawn. There I go, using the grenade again. Nice. So basically the game will not be the same for everyone that plays it. The intensity director will adjust to how you play the game and will try to surprise you with necromorphs showing up in different places than maybe you would be used to in a previous playthrough. Here I am. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I go back to the plasma cutter because, well, for one thing, I actually upgraded it. I don't think I upgraded the pulse rifle. And the plasma cutter is better at cutting off limbs. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just how I always felt. There I am, confused. Where's the sound coming from? I hear some groaning in the background, but no idea where he is. I guess we'll just move on then. Oh, he's out there somewhere.
Last valve done, Chief. Progress report filed by Jacob Temple. The engine problems aren't a malfunction. Someone shut off the fuel lines to the primary engine and damaged the valve to hell and back. We just wasted an hour fixing them. Now we need to restart the south refueling station, but some jackass turned off the power and locked up the circuit breaker. No engines? We're gonna hit planetfall soon. What now? There's gotta be someone around here who had a spare access card. Go see. Wait, you hear that? Davers, go!
To comment more on the intensity director, in the Q&A, one of the other creators that was there commented that when they were playing, they had some enemies show up behind them, and so they thought, you know, in conventional video game wisdom, that they had to follow where the monsters were spawning from because that was the correct way to go to progress the story. But it turned out that it was just the intensity director just spawning extra enemies where they least expected it.
Isaac. Hammond.
Daniels? You made it.
Thank God. After the bridge, we thought that...
Glad to disappoint. I barricaded myself in the computer core. I can hear them, but I don't think they know I'm here. Isaac, I've tracked down your rig. You're in engineering, right? I'll get myself admin privileges. Maybe I can help.
Please reload. Oh, I'm going to save, I see. Are you gonna reload your pulse rifle, or... No? Not gonna reload? Okay. Now why would you need to? So here I unsuccessfully tried to kinesis this switch up, but I don't realize that it's not powered up yet. Processing. Here we go. He figured it out. Look at that. Look at that face of realization. Nope, that's nothing. That's just a glowy thing. Yeah, you know what that means, don't you? Wow, there it is. Can barely see it in the darkness. Oh, I actually chose to not fight it here. Too busy with my objective, I guess. Wow, those things. I don't know if it's just because I've gotten better at video games over the years, but I remember in the original game really struggling with these guys. And I was, oh, yeah, you can see some of the frustration coming out there. But I was melting through them in this session. I guess I'm just better now, I don't know, what can I say? Oh, this is one of those necromorphs that shoots acid at you, so... Oh, this is why you should have reloaded earlier. See, guys, I'm backseating for you here. I'm trying to stomp for loot there. Finally worked. I just kept missing before. Oh, only 6 rounds of plasma cutter? I like how I checked the inventory, like I didn't believe that was the only ammo I had. I guess it's the pulse rifle from now on. So as you may have noticed by now, if you're not familiar with the Dead Space games, you do aim for the limbs against the necromorphs. They're kind of they're a unique video game enemy in that respect. Like I said earlier, most of the time you go for the headshot, but in Dead Space you aim to dismember. Oh, there's something down there. Something very impressive. From the look on my face. Oh, okay, not so impressive, never mind. Ooh, it's one of these things. It took almost an entire clip. Oh, I hate those enemies.
I've got a fuel reading. Only a quarter full, but it should be enough.
I still need to get the centrifuge running before we start. Someone really screwed with these fuel lines.
Move fast, Isaac. EJ7's looking damn close out there.
I can't believe it took me that long to get the flame canister launched. But I wasn't using kinesis a whole lot in the early game. You know how it is in the early game. A lot of times you just shoot. You don't really use kinesis and stasis as much as you should by later in the game. So one thing that you may notice with the necromorphs in this game, if you're not familiar with Dead Space, like I said earlier, they're built to be dismembered, right? It's not like other games where you want to go for headshots. Dismemberment has always been kind of a defining differentiation for Dead Space. And one thing that they did with this remake to that effect is that they reconstructed all the necromorphs under around a new system called the peel system. So the necromorphs are designed to be peeled. Ooh, using kinesis there for some free credits, nice. What I mean by that is that they've constructed the necromorphs with new layers, right? So skin, bone, tendons, everything's designed to be ripped and shredded and torn apart by Isaac's weapons in a more realistic way than it would be otherwise. Oh, here I am on the bench. Yeah, upgrading weapon. I was very excited about this. Suit level 2 upgrade, plasma cutter. Then I got 5 nodes. Wait, am I upgrading the I think I'm upgrading the pulse rifle because I have so much ammo for it, even though I prefer the plasma cutter. I think, do I go ahead and use 4 nodes on it for damage? Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm deciding what to do the last upgrade on, and I decide on capacity for the plasma cutter. Very cool. I've got 276 on the pulse rifle? My god. Wow. That's so many. Here I am just looting. 25 more? 25 more? Good thing I made those pulse rifle upgrades. Oh, this part. Oh, look at me. I'm realizing in the upper left, I'm like, oh yeah, this part. Shaking my head, I know what's coming. The decontamination sequence. I don't know why this one stuck out to me so much. Am I weird, or was this a pretty memorable sequence? Because it... I mean, I don't scare as easily as I used to. But I do remember being kind of freaked out in this scene. Oh, uh-oh. Got a little too close there. Yeah, punt that thing across the room, let's go. I was trying to stomp it just then. There we go. You may notice from the controls that I'm playing with a controller. I normally play, we were playing on PCs for this. Oh my gosh. Come on, John, get it together. I'm not saying that as an excuse. Using my stasis there, and then using the pulse rifle grenade out of desperation. Yeah, I'm not saying it as an excuse, you know, oh, this was a controller, not mouse and keyboard, but it is kind of an excuse. Looks like I really enjoyed it.
Thank you for your patience.
Having to recoup myself here. Oh, I think right there I was like contemplating cutting out that part of the video because I thought my performance was so bad. I think that's what was going on. I was giving it a good think. Well, it ended up making the cut, buddy. It wasn't that bad. Oh yeah, you know what that means. Well, maybe you don't. That's okay. You'll find out later. You'll find out later what made that hole. Again, using the kinesis to get some extra credits. Something that a lot of people forget to do. I forget to do it sometimes.
Centrifuge offline. Please attach generator modules manually.
So this is one of those more puzzle-oriented rooms. Just refilled my stasis. Getting to move around in zero gravity. Oh, I've already got an enemy. Where is it? I don't know why I'm not turning around here. Come on. There it is. Ooh, got smacked. Look at me using kinesis. I don't know why am I so proud of myself for using kinesis? It's like a basic it's a basic mechanic of the game. It's just the type of thing I would normally forget to do, so I'm happy every time I remember to do it. Okay, so we need to power this thing up. Clearly, I'm unimpressed by that. So we're using kinesis to move it in, right? While using zero gravity here. But you'll notice that the end is spinning a bit too fast. So we're gonna use stasis to slow it down and slowly guide it in. And these are the type of puzzles in Dead Space. Oh, sniped. Oh, I got a lot of serotonin out of that, you can tell. Oh, I'm gonna stomp on it? Ah, I didn't get anything. I think it's because it already gave me those credits right there. Okay, so now we're gonna go to this next one. There's another necromorph somewhere. We heard it. Apparently, I don't think it's a big deal though. Okay, we got 2 of them powered up.
Generator module attached. Clutch engaged. All personnel clear for centrifuge restart.
Look at this guy. Boy, he's cracking me up. He's cracking me up so much I went blurry. Did you notice that I didn't brag about using kinesis that time? Instead, I bragged about not bragging, so... Either way, I need a compliment.
Exiting zero gravity. Centrifuge activated. Re-establishing balance with tectonic load.
So we've ignited the engines. Or we're going to ignite the engines, actually.
Looks like the centrifuge is back online. All that's left is restarting the engines, right? Ready when you are.
Look at my mouth. Wide open for that. Can't believe it. Yeah, you don't want to get hit by that. I tried to stasis it just now to slow it down, but that's not how these things work. Necromorph in the way. Of course, in space, they make no sound. Isaac does, though. He goes, ah! Trying to think of anything else to say about, like the developer Q&A and, like, stuff that they said at the event. See, I talked about the peel system, the intensity director, that they remade the ship from the ground up. to the reason that they did that is like because there were some parts of the ship where, because they were cut with loading screens, they didn't structurally make 100% sense. So in this one, they 100% make sense. Like everywhere you go, if you go you know, later on to another floor, oh, that guy got left behind. That's funny. Oh, hold that thought. Here's what made that hole earlier. Nice, dude. Look at those faces there. Oh, I'm just stomping away. Look, wow, taking out my frustration. It's funny after the fact. I want to zoom in and look at the faces and like the design of the tentacle, but I guess in the moment I just wanted to stomp, stomp, stomp.
Orbital position approaching critical. Correct course immediately.
As I was saying, yeah, the structure of the ship. So like if you, like later in the game, if we go to a place that's like a floor above this, it'll actually be a floor above this exact room, so you know. So like if there was a scenario where we blew open the floor, we'd be able to see that room just underneath. It's actually really cool that there's no loading screens in the game. It's mostly an uncut, like a one-take shot experience.
Got it. Isaac, fuel storage is unlocked. It'll give you access to the engine chamber. Say, Hammond, I cracked the secure files. DC was here for more than just a mining claim, huh?
What do you mean?
This outbreak started on the colony after the miners dug up some artifacts. Something alien.
That's impossible.
But it would explain why Aegis 7 is meant to be off limits, right? First trust orders. When the miners found the artifact, they reported hallucinations, paranoia, suicide. But the Ishimura brought this marker on board anyway. Like that was a plan.
Okay, back up. Where's this marker now?
In cargo. All packaged up for delivery.
I don't think I was really paying much attention to the dialogue there. Too busy interacting with my biggest fan here. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Good jokes in the DVD commentary.
Exiting zero gravity.
Ooh, the flamethrower. I actually forgot that I got this. I'm almost as excited as I was when I actually got it live. I gave a thumbs up. For some reason, I thought that the plasma cutter and the pulse rifle were all I interacted with, but yeah, flamethrower. Nice. That was immediate, huh? Alright, I got some fuel. Oh, you hear that? Oh, the flamethrower feels so good on these guys. I forgot all about those little guys until, hello there. Yeah, I forgot all about them until just now. But, yeah, flamethrower was good for them. Moving on. Oh, Necromorph right there. Well, I'll try out the new flamethrower on him. Still learning how it works. Probably used up too much fuel there. But it only took one plasma cutter shot to down it after that. Ugh. What is that thing? Ugh. Now I'm getting covered with the little things. But there's too many of them. Oh, I couldn't believe I died there. That may have been my first death, actually. There, oh, I'm so ashamed of myself. It's okay. I promise it's okay. You don't need to shake your head. What, you think people watch you because you're an esports gamer? Settle down. Alright, now it's time for some revenge. Classic revenge. Flamethrower style, I love it. Oh, a couple of them slipped past. My revenge is a slow one, apparently. Nice, we're all good here. Now, of course, on fast-moving doors like these, use stasis to slow them down. And apparently I'm just moving on from these. Oh no, I'm going for the fire canister. Nice. Very cool. Oh, I was picking up the limb because you can also use the limbs to impale with kinesis. Got one of these acid guys. But he's gone now. Getting another fire canister just in case.
Warning. Planetfall imminent. Correct course immediately.
Immediately? Well, let me just save first. Okay, I got it now. Ooh, this might be our first, might be our first intense sequence. There we go, I used one of the grenades on the pulse rifle.
Warning. Engine power failure.
Now when that thing dies, it gives off a lot of those little ones, so I got the flamethrower ready. Alright, found a battery. Powering things up.
Engine power failure. Ignition sequence initiated. Please stand by.
Using my grenades, although I missed that one. Fail. Getting another fire canister. There's a lot of sounds, but I don't know where they're coming from. Oh, there he is over there. Somehow I missed that. Another fail. Actually, I don't think I did. I think it did, because it only took a couple shots for him to go down. I think he did get blasted with it. He just didn't die from it. Another missed grenade there. I'm not sure what I'm aiming at. That was pretty sick. Oh, one of those things. No. Kill it. Good. I always make it a point to stomp those things. You can tell I was getting impatient with the AI. Engine needs, or whatever it was saying. Engine needs power. I even flashed a thumbs up. I must have been pretty satisfied with this sequence. Made up for the times when I died earlier, I guess.
You did it. The Ishimura's moving again.
No thanks to whoever sabotaged the fuck out of these engines.
You bought us time to figure it out. Autopilot's taking us into geostationary orbit.
Wait, you're flying us through the planet Clarke debris?
That's what the asteroid defense system is for.
But the ADS is offline. I've got the system readouts here.
Hammond, the Ishimura's in rough shape. A couple of bad strikes could finish her off.
Shit. Daniels, give me all the data you have. I'll try to adjust course. Isaac, you disable the tram lockdown from engineering. I'll open up the bridge station. Meet me there. We need to work on this together.
I'm not impressed with Hammond's plan. Hammond's plan usually involves him staying where he's at and me running all over the ship as Isaac, so I think that's probably why I was shaking my head there. Now you may notice in that sequence, well,
Nicole? I'm here. Nicole! Damn it.
don't want to interrupt the wife calling out, Nicole. As I was saying, you may notice that he said the ADS, the Asteroid Defense System. Now, it's a pretty notorious sequence from the original game, and they told us during the dev Q&A that they reworked it completely, the ADS. So I didn't get to play it because that's the end of Chapter 3, right there. But so I didn't get to play it. I believe it's in like Chapter 5. There's me being told to stop. But yeah, the ADS sequence is completely different now, apparently. So interesting. I'm excited to check it out when the full game releases. Hey, how's it going? I'm back now. Yeah, that was about all I had to show you. That was a full chapter of an early build of the upcoming Dead Space Remake, Chapter 3, Course Correction. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it, if you wouldn't mind leaving them in the comments below. I'd like to hear your thoughts on the gameplay that you saw of Dead Space Remake and all the things that I talked about, all the ways that it's been changed and improved over the original. And I'd also like to know if you've played the original game, and if you're planning on playing the remake when it comes out in January. So yeah, lots of, that's a full list of the things I want feedback on, okay? Big thanks to EA again for sponsoring this video and flying me out to check out the game. I had a great time, and I hope you also had a great time watching this video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.